give our feedback on the session, on the cohort for us, how it has been. Also, the class we had with Scott, which we want to say thank you to Scrum.org for that opportunity. It was insightful. We had the opportunity to gather a lot of knowledge from your wealth of wisdom and experience. And who else would have given us that other than the Grand Master himself? It was indeed a grand learning experience. We want to say thank you, Scott. Thank you so much. For me, I'll open the floor by introducing myself once again. My name is Lola. I'm an HR professional. I've been in the HR field for about 14 years, but I have over 17 years work experience, spanning sales, operations, and then into the HR space. And for me, my journey with LEARNTOR started with, I needed to improve myself. I gathered some skills in terms of, this is the digital era. How do I make myself more agile as an HR professional and make myself more relevant in my industry? Because we learn, we relearn, we unlearn, and that's how we improve. Learning never stops. So I went on LinkedIn, and that was how I bumped into LEARNTOR, and I gave her a call. I chatted her, and then I called her, we spoke, and she said, this would be a good opportunity. And that was how the journey started for me with LEARNTOR. And it's been amazing. It's been a good journey. And I want to say thank you to Mercy. She's selfless in what she does. She would go the extra mile for us. And I want to appreciate Scrum.org for creating the opportunity to meet the Scrum Master himself. It was indeed an honor and a privilege to be tutored by you. Your teaching style is highly commendable. And why is that? Because it was hands-on, it was practical all through. In terms of your use of example, it was relatable. You were using this repeated approach where we got it all stuck in there. It was like your mother telling you the same thing over and somehow it sticks. And that approach really did work for us. It was a good one. You were authentic. You brought everything to life. You made it very seamless for us. And it was an opportunity to have great insight. You were also a very good listener because sometimes we had a bit of difficulty in expressing ourselves, but you took your time to listen to us and also understand our pain point and to give us a lot of insight. And that for me is exemplary for a teacher. I would not relate you to a facilitator because you are indeed a teacher. You broke it down to that granular level that made it relatable for us. And it made it more like, this is what we've been doing. It's just that it's been defined in different ways. That's how we can do it better. And that's a very good one. I want to say thank you. All in all, it was an insightful journey. It was a great learning experience for us, and we had good insight as well. And so you made learning fun. That's the honest truth. We had a bit of music, so it was a fun experience all through. It wasn't the boring one. You were energetic throughout the session. I couldn't understand how you were able to keep your energy level up from 8:30 a.m. till that late. And bearing in mind the difference in the time zone, it was awesome. So the class was never dull. It was fun all through. The learning experience was practical, hands-on, and it was a great teaching experience. And that being said, I want to say thank you. I would now hand over to my other colleagues in the cohort, that is cohort 5, so that I can also share one or two things, their feedback about the session. But I would say thank you so much, Scott. We really appreciate you. So I wouldn't like to nominate. I would like, if you want, to raise up your hand to indicate if you're willing to go on. Yes, Tomiwa, thank you so much. You have the floor. And then we'll have Chidi afterwards. Thank you.
Hi, good evening, everyone. Thank you very, very much for giving me this opportunity to actually share my view, my perspective about my experience so far with LEARNTOR. I've known LEARNTOR now 30 years way back. That's Messi as a person. But since she brought LEARNTOR up as a business organization to actually impact lives, she's been telling me this now for the past 4 years, thereabout, because we also happen to be in the same WhatsApp group from way back in secondary school. I took up that challenge to actually redefine my life. I'm an asset surveyor and valuer. I'm chartered. I have about 22 years work experience. I've actually focused on, how will I put it, facility management as a core of my discipline. I've been doing that now for way back 18 years. Now, it involves a lot of things, project works and all that with the new technology that's happening, you need to actually embrace the new order, if I may use that word. And as it is for me, LEARNTOR came in, preached to me, so to say, and was able to sell the idea of actually, bringing tech into what I do. And looking at what we do right now, I have been able to actually adapt and adopt and inspect the ways in which things have been done. So I took up the classes of LEARNTOR, and I started chasing after the tutorials, the class of becoming a Scrum Master. Thank you very much. It's been an exciting 3-4 months now. We started way back early March. And it hasn't been easy being a working class person. So I want to thank, first of all, my family for their understanding. All the nights I keep them all awake. I chase them out of the room so that I can have the room to myself and have my attention all to LEARNTOR. So thank you to my wife. Thank you also to LEARNTOR. And in the course of meeting LEARNTOR, I have no regret, and I'll tell you why. Because LEARNTOR also led me to another super person named Scott Adams. Now, Scott Adams is, how will I put it, a self-proclaimed grandmaster, Scrum Master. I would like to actually re-emphasize the fact that he says he's self-proclaimed. I'm actually ascribing that to him as an accolade that he has actually done so well. Everything that I have learned from LEARNTOR and that was taken over by Scott was actually broken down, or rather decomposed into smaller modules for me to understand, with scenarios, practical experience scenarios by Scott, for which I have actually been able to do, because I'm this kind of person, I picture everything in my head, how it happens, how I do things. So if I picture somebody's scenario, I see the video in my head and all that, I'm able to relate to it. And that obviously has helped me this far to want to, say a very big thank you. If I have all the money in the world and I give them up to you all, it is not enough to say thank you for everything that you've done. The value you've added to my life can never be forgotten. If tomorrow I'm writing my biography, I will say at this point in time, I met people like Scott Adams, Messi, Igbafe George, Chidi, Oluwaseun, Timothy, James, and many other colleagues who have been on with us all on this journey. The journey is about to come to a fresh beginning, an end, but a fresh beginning of being professional Scrum Masters. And I want to say congratulations in advance for each and every one of us that will be taking the exam this week, and looking forward to graduating with high scores. Thank you very much. Scott Adams, I doff my hat once more. Thank you. Good evening, everyone.
Thank you very much, Tomiwa. Well said. Thank you so much for your great contribution. I will now hand over to Chidi. Chidi, please go ahead. You have the floor. Thank you.
Thank you most graciously for the opportunity to speak, Lola. Good evening, everyone. I would say good afternoon to Scott, because I know it's afternoon in his location. I appreciate the opportunity to give feedback to LEARNTOR and to Scott. It's interesting how you need something, but sometimes you don't even realize you need that thing. I remember my conversation. Matter of fact, I don't think I was a primary member of the conversation that was happening at the time. My interaction with Messi started in the Toastmasters Club, right? I visit her club. I happen to be the division director of the division she belongs to, Division F in Nigeria. And so we've had engagements, Toastmasters engagement. When she had LEARNTOR activity, Women in Tech, she reached out and wanted me to spread the message to African women who are in tech to come tell their story. And so it happened on a beautiful Sunday evening. We had just finished the LEARNTOR Toastmasters Club meeting, And she was having a conversation with Sheon and a friend of his. And that conversation steered towards the cohort. And I heard her mention data analysis, business analysis, UX, UI, Scrum. And I had to, okay, please, excuse me, what are you people talking about? Because I think I'll be interested in this. And so that journey started. And she goes, oh, there's a cohort that's starting on Monday. This was on a Sunday evening, and the cohort was starting the next day. And it was a struggle. Do I want to take on this challenge? Bearing in mind that I was running an MBA program, I had my duties as a division director, I had my job that was taking up a lot of time, I've got my family. It was a lot. But she challenged me and she says, go for it. You won't regret it. And so I went for it. I signed up and I told myself, yes, I'm going to take this serious. The first class I had business analysis. It made me realize that, look, babe, you've been doing this thing all your life at work. I work with the subsidiaries. I've basically been a business analyst without realizing that I was a business analyst, because I was that person who understood what the customers wanted and then go talk to the tech team to development. And I just didn't realize it. So I was called here as a business partner, and that was it. And it graduated to a finance analyst. So when I started, I realized that, look, it's good to have a formal training so you understand where you fall, what category you are, and then you're able to equip yourself and then sell yourself the right way. And through my journey, I certainly have not regretted taking up that challenge to go through this course with LEARNTOR. Because just like Tomiwa said, I came to meet a lot of people. We had a physical hangout and it was fun. It was fun because people showed up and we interacted as though we've known each other for a very long time. And Mercy showed up. She had no business coming for that hangout, but she showed up. What that said to me was, look, I'm invested in you. I'm interested in your growth and I want you to succeed. Now, Emmanuel had given us some sort of a background to Scrum, right? We've had Scrum classes with him. He's giving us the basics. And when it was as though we just couldn't get enough, Mercy introduced us to someone who came and basically just plastered the entire cake with icing, gave it a cherry on the top, and took it home. Scott, for me, this is the second time. So the first time as a trainer, but this is the second time I've heard you speak. The first time it was a Toastmasters gathering. And I know, like, yes, I really want to be able to engage just the way he's been able to. And then when I heard Scott Adams was going to be the trainer, in my mind, I was like, okay, so Chidi, what are you going to be expecting? For one, I knew it wasn't going to be a boring affair. Even though I am far away from home, I'm currently in Senegal, or had a district conference, right? And there were a lot of activities that could have taken my time. When the class started on Saturday, we had a district contest. And I was torn. Okay, Chidi, you need to be at this district conference, but you also need to be in class. What do you do? And so I chose to join the class, although I joined a bit late, right? But I joined and it was fun. It was fun for me because you use everyday experiences to drive the point home. You use stories that would resonate with me. You use the power of three. Now in speaking, you're asked to use the power of three because it just makes what you say stick. So when you repeat yourself once, the second time, and the third time, it sticks. And it just doesn't stick because, oh yes, Scott said it. It stuck because of the way you were able to tie it all together. You spoke to us as though we were a Scrum team. Look, you are a Scrum team, and this is how it's done. And I could visually see myself as a Scrum team. Now, in LEARNTOR, I'm a product owner, I'm the chief product owner. But I'm like, okay, right, there's still an interesting part to this. Yeah, the product owner, and I got to understand a bit more of what the expectation is from me, understand a bit more what the expectation is from the Scrum Master and the developers. And I think that would help me do better, not just in the exam, but also in my place of work, because I can boldly say, I am a product owner. I will sell myself that way, and I will get the respect that is due to me, not just as a staff or a member of the team, but someone who understands what her position is, someone who understands what the expectation is, and someone who can deliver when the need arises. So thank you so much, Scott. Thank you for sharing the gift of your time. Thank you for sharing your experience. And thank you for sharing your talent, because it's not everyone who's going to be able to train. It was a marathon. It was a marathon, but I did not feel tired for 1 second. And then the music, just like Lola mentioned, it was fun. It was awesome. Spiffing is the word I would want to use to describe it. And something that you did that I love was the fact that you referred to us by name. To me, that showed me that, look, I see you. I know you are there, and I know you are important. So thank you so much. Thank you for being there. Thank you for sharing yourself with us. And thank you for making us understand Scrum a little bit more. And Mercy, thank you. You're the best friend anyone can wish for. You're the mother every child wants to have. And you certainly are the cheerleader that every human should have. Because anyone who has you in his or her corner would never suffer. You would push, you will prod, and when you're pushing, you're saying, guys, I don't want to push you. I don't want to push you. She's saying that, but she's pushing. And in my mind, I was like, Mercy, calm down. So thank you. And to everyone, thank you guys for going on this journey with me. I'm sure we're going to keep in touch. It's not the end. We'll continue to interact, we'll continue to collaborate, and we'll all prosper and grow in our respective environments. Thank you. Lola, back to you.
Thank you so much, Judy. Thank you very, very much. I kind of share all your views. We share similar views, and I'll say thank you for that feedback. On that note, I would like to hand over to Miriam. Please, can you do us the honors, and then please give us your kind feedback. Thank you very much. Miriam, you might need to unmute your mic. We can't hear you.
Yeah, good evening, everybody. Good evening, Scott. You know, I'm so happy that you can call my name. That's the first thing for me, you know. When you see a teacher, you know, you can differentiate a teacher from a lecturer. You actually called everybody's name. That's a big deal for me. I can say thank you to you, but sincerely, if I have to start talking, I may take the time of everybody, but just allow me to say something, you know, because let me start by appreciating Mercy. You know, if Mercy did not put this up, I may not have the opportunity to meet with every beautiful person here. And of course, Scott himself. You know, Mercy is somebody that pushes. You know, she has this she has this valiance in her. She wants everybody to succeed, you know, and for me that's a big deal. You know, she's like a goddess to me, basically because she's a woman. And you know, being a single lady, it's another big deal for me. You have to be compliant with IT today. You're parenting children, you have to be compliant with modern technologies. So when I enrolled for this, I told Mercy that for me, I love capacity building. When my colleagues go out socializing, buying clothes and all of that, I develop myself. That is my own, that's what I do and I enjoy doing, you know. So like I said, I'm a certified project manager before I enrolled in this. I've had my training as a project manager, but when I listened to Mercy on Facebook, I realized, no, I need more than I got earlier. Let me get into this, and I'm sure I would not be disappointed. You know, so I'm saying thank you. My appreciation is starting with Mercy. If she did not put this up, I may not have the opportunity to meet with you, Scott. Having said that, when you started your classes yesterday, on Saturday, I was out. You know, because I was looking at the agility in you to have spoken from 8:30 till like 5 without missing your words, you know, being able to call everybody one by one. That was a big deal for me. I actually posted something on my page on LinkedIn and I'm like, you're a public speaker par excellence. You know, I give it to you. And, you know, because like when we were reviewing what we did on Saturday, I said the stories you told were it for me. Every Scrum activity, you were able to relate a story that would definitely resonate with you. So when we're reading, we can always think, oh, Scott said this story. And because of this story, I'm not going to forget how to answer that question. And that is it for me. So, Scott, I really, really appreciate you. And I appreciate everybody who had made this journey very interesting so far. My product owner, Chidi, I love you so much. Lovely Lola, you are highly appreciated. I cannot leave my able Scrum Master.
We lost a feedback. I think we lost the feedback there. Miriam, sorry, I think we lost Miriam. So on that note, Miriam has kind of summarized it all. She's so happy that you, first of all, you got her name right. So I think that's another one. That's another feather to your cap. Okay, so on that note, I would hand over to Sean. Sean, please go ahead.
Okay. Thank you, Lola.
Thank you so much, Sean.
Can you just confirm I'm being heard?
Yes, please, loud and clear.
Awesome. Thank you very kindly. I would say there's this populist saying of Zig Ziglar. It says that you don't have to be great to start, but you have to start to be great. And I would say that so far I have always been interested in developmental things. I am always after self-development, bettering myself and the like. So over the years, I try to push to learn new things. I am an admin and HR person. I work with the Lagos State government, the governor's office, and I would say that I love to do things. I do martial arts, I do Kyokushin and Shotokan karate. I swim. I am equally the current area director for Area 19, Toastmasters International. I've been a Toastmaster since 2015. And I'll say that even at that, I still try to push to learn new things. I try to better myself every day. I got to know about this whole thing that we are doing today, Scrum, from Mercy. And I met Mercy through Toastmasters International. I remember when we had this conversation, last year, and she told me about it and all of that. But I really was not able to participate then. I remember the day Chidi was talking about. We were all there together, and it was even my friend who was talking about it, saying, oh, he wants to learn tech. And I was also thinking about it that, okay, the world is evolving and we're tilting towards tech. How can I put myself into tech? Where do I start from? As somebody I had my master's degree in history and strategic studies, I have been more of the person in the public policy side. I have a diploma from the University of Virginia on 21st century public policy challenges. So I've been tilting towards that side, and I said, oh, how can I bring tech into my life? And I had a conversation with Mercy. And I remember I spoke to her on a Sunday, and then she said the cohort was going to happen on a Monday. And I had this very deep sigh of, oh, is this the right step? And I just thought about that Boy Scout thing. I was the Boy Scout then back in primary school, and said, be prepared, take the challenge. That is life. Life will always bring you challenges, and you should be ready to take those challenges. And I said, oh, I will take this up and I'll start. She motivated me towards it, and we started. In between, Ramadan came up. I had a couple of things that really barred my participation in class. But even at that, I was still reaching out. My Scrum Master, James, always reaching out and saying, oh, Sheon, you should do this, you should push. you know, and that was really, really awesome. Mercy equally was really helpful. And then as everything went on, we had the class with Scott. I would say that, yeah, Emmanuel did justice, but the class with Scott was a very big motivating factor for me in Scrum, in the sense that I love when stories are used as a Toastmaster, as a speaker, as a trainer. I also engage in trainings. I love when stories are used. They say facts tell, stories sell. I'll say that again, and it is very essential. And I could relate to all the stories that Scott made use of. You know, they were measures that really made me understand. Fine, we had read, but I really could place, okay, the Scrum event, the artifacts, and all of that. And all through the training, you made those core values of Scrum evident. Being a martial artist also, I could see all of that. The courage, you telling us that you are a self-acclaimed grandmaster of Scrum, I really admire that courage. I admire the respect, the openness, all of the values of Scrum were embedded in your presentation, and we can't thank you enough. We know that your time was not really favorable. Apparently, you were around the midnight, and we were just fresh in the morning. We had a good sleep, but you sacrificed your sleep for us, and we don't take that for granted. We really appreciate you. We respect you, and certainly you have been a very great motivating factor in our lives. I also want to thank Mercy for bringing this together, because through this platform, I've been able to meet so many lovely people. Everyone here is amazing, I must say. Fine, I don't have a personal connection with everyone, but at least I have a lot of people here. So starting from the Scrum Master, James is a very excellent person. Chidi, Christabel, Lola, Tomiwa, I can go on, but I'll say that I've loved every bit of it, and I am certain that we are going to excel in our coming exams. Thank you very kindly, Lola.
Thank you so much, Shion. Thank you. Well said. Very, very great contribution from Shion there. I think it kind of gives a bit of more summary to what we've said so far. And it speaks to the fact that this is the digital age, and everybody's trying to upskill themselves with the relevant skills. And so it's really interesting to know. Abibat, if you're ready, I'd like to invite you to take over at this point and also share one or two of your major highlights and feedback to Scott. Thank you very much.
Yeah, good evening, Scott. Good evening, everyone. Good evening, Mercy, James, my Scrum Master. Good evening to you all. For me, I am a certified food processor, and I founded the first milk drink from rice in the whole of Africa. And when I started, I discovered that the food production industry, something is definitely missing to all the professionals that I've met in the industry, that is technology. You know, we needed some kind of AI to trace product batches. You understand? So I decided that, okay, let me just go into tech and see how to transition into tech, how to merge it together with the food production industry at large. So got a point in our production farm. Something happened, you know, within the country. Mercy knows about it. I lost about 6 million naira from that investment. So Mercy and I are friends. We're alumni of Access Bank. We did, that was a mini MBA. So she said, Habibat, you got to do this. you need to move on. You are creating waves already in this industry. You're beginning to get a lot of certifications and all of that. So when she was about to start this cohort, she gave me options, data, analytics, all of that. You know, I'm not a tech person. This is the first time I'm coming into tech, hearing these words. So I said, okay, you know, she kept on calling me. Got to a point I wanted to lose interest. That let me just face this food industry. It's my career. That's where my dream lies and all of that. She said, no, this is the future. I know you can do it. She will call me morning, afternoon, day, and night. I'll say, oh, come on, Mercy. Okay, let me give you a shot. So when the registration started, I wanted to tell her that I'm not interested. She said, Abibat, hold on, I will support you. Whatever it is that you want, that you need. This journey is worth it for you because I know who you are. I know what you do and I can see it. I said, okay. Then she gave me options, the data, the Scrum. I said, my kind of being, my kind of a person, I think I will go for Scrum. And when I started the journey, starting from the day one, Emmanuel, Tosin, all of those facilitators were so amazing. In fact, when I started talking about technology with my husband, I started talking like a tech person. And, you know, it was so funny. I said that there was a day when James asked me that, where exactly do I want to go in the tech? And I said, okay, I'm going for Scrum. I want to be a professional certified Scrum Master, Agile facilitator to be known globally. He said, you can give data analytics a trial. I said, data is not my thing. And then that was something happened. I attended a class. LEARNTOR said, this to give you some kind of enlightenment in the field. And that was Ayodeji's class. I came back, I found my voice for data analytics. Getting to the class, you know, I was just pushing out this technological word, all this, you understand? So Mercy now private chatted me. She said, I can see you are doing it. Then, you know, that was how I got embedded into it. And right now, the joy that I feel in me, I'm starting the Scrum journey, and we'll make waves globally. And then Scott's class, when I first heard a 20-hour lecture, I said, I have a baby that is a few weeks old. How do I cope 20 hours? Okay, let me try. Mercy called me that morning, come aboard. Then when I saw Scott Adams, okay, let me give it a try. Then I did 2 hours at a stretch. I didn't realize I was in the class. Thank you for that, Scott. And I think this is the first time navigating into something new, and I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. Even in my dream, I was product owner, Scrum Master, you know. Thank you so much, Scott. James, you are so wonderful. Christabel, Sheung, thank you so much. Chidi, those classes, all your data analytics terminology, the biometrics, I always stay in the background and I always say yes. Tomiwa, thank you so much for being so fascinating. Colleague, you have made this journey very easy for me. And Mercy, I can't thank you enough. LEARNTOR, I cannot thank you enough. I don't know how to say it. Thank you so much. And Scott, I really wish to meet more of you, to see more of you. And because, you know, in one of those classes, when you said you were dressed like a referee, you got me. I was imagining myself already dressed like a referee in a rocket building company, being the Scrum Master. Yes. I really can't wait for that, starting the journey of being the Scrum Master. And I so much appreciate you. Thank you so much. And Adebayo, thank you, Adebayo. Thank you so much. If I send the messages in the night, he's always responding. He's always there. You know, Adebayo, thank you very much. BC, all the LEARNTOR team, you guys are so wonderful. Scott, thank you. I'm going to be a member of Toastmasters Club right now because I want to learn more.
Thank you so much, Abiba. You know, this cohort also gave birth to a baby after so many Scrum Masters, and it came from
yes. Actually, when I was in labor, my phone was ringing, you know, several times, you know, the pain of labor, but when a call came in, it was James. You know, I was using one eye to see the phone. You won't believe it, I picked the call.
Oh my goodness.
Because I saw it was James. When I picked it, James just screamed, "Something is wrong with you, Habiba. What is it? What is it?" I just dropped the call. The next day I told him, "I have a baby." He screamed, like, "Are you serious?" Because it was a Scrum class, I couldn't ignore his call. Thank you very much for being wonderful.
Thank you so much, Habiba. That's just an interesting experience, you know. And I want to commend Habiba. You know, she stood all through, even with the baby. She didn't give herself any break. There was no time when she said, "Oh, I need," you know, maybe a couple of days. They even had to force her to take a bed rest so she could take some time off and rest. And so that's the level of commitment you get from people like this. And I want to commend everybody for that. On that note, I would like to hand over to Jessica. Please, can you unmute yourself and go ahead and share your highlights and feedback? Thank you.
Hi, good evening, everyone. Hi, Scott. Good to see you again. Well, Jessica, I would say my background is accounting. I studied accounting at a first degree, and I did some certification in procurement. Afterwards, when I started my career, I started as a salesperson. I've not really worked as an accountant. I've always worked as a salesperson. And being in sales, I've always worked with teams. But I've never realized that what we do, though, is not software development, but we still work as a unit, as a team, to achieve maybe a particular target, to achieve a particular, make our product visible in the market, get a particular portion of the market share. So we always work as a team, you know. So coming across, like I said, the first day of the class with Scott on Saturday, I said, I've not heard anything about Scrum before. I've not heard about it. I don't know what it's all about until I came across Mercy on, I think it's on Instagram. I came across her advert concerning the Cohort 5. So she mentioned, I know about business analysis and data analysis. I was actually interested. I was actually looking towards business analysis, data analysis. That's where I had interest, but I've done a little bit of training on data analysis. So when I came across her advert that she's going to hold a training for 3 months, a cohort, I said, okay, why not? Let me join the class. That's how I came about joining Mercy, joining LEARNTOR. I went to her office. I saw what she do. She asked me, Jessica, so at that time I was free. I wasn't occupied. I was free then. She said, okay, Jessica, why don't you come and volunteer with me? Since you're a marketer, since you're a salesperson, you can, go out and build the brand, bring more business for us. I said, okay, I will consider it. Along the line, I get occupied, I get engaged, where I'm selling Microsoft products. Well, what I will say during the class, all the facilitator that Mercy brought to us exposed me to a whole lot of different settings when it comes to teaching. Mercy is a very, very passionate person, and she tends to rub off on the people she deals with. So all the facilitators, all of them have the same attributes. Emmanuel in particular. Emmanuel is just a second version of you, Scott. Emmanuel will start class 8 p.m. Emmanuel will stay in the class till 10. At times, I will doze off in Emmanuel's class. Emmanuel is still talking. He's never tired. He's just a second version of you. I don't know, maybe that's the spirit of people that are into Scrum Masters. Maybe people have that in common. I don't know. So all the facilitators, they were so committed, they were having that value of Scrum value, being focused, being committed, respect, courage. They all showed it to us. They all understand the peculiarity of the people doing this training. Some of us are mothers, we are working, doing business, and the peculiarity of the country where we stay. Lagos, Nigeria. They understand the traffic. Most of the time, people will be coming back from work, they're in class. They'll be driving, they're in class, you know. They understand that peculiarity, and they were so very, very patient and understanding with us. They are holding our hand, all of them, to make sure we get, they keep on encouraging us, you know. And Mercy is at the background. So she's a piper. She's always there at the background. You know, when I think of Mercy, all she knew, when Mercy started talking, I'm like, wow, she knows a lot. Mercy is a container of knowledge. You know, she inspires me, she motivates me, she moves me. When I want to get lazy, I say, this woman is doing so much. She's always busy with one thing or the other. She's engaged with one thing or the other, different classes, different on the air, television, all over the place. And she's always present, you know. So when you came on board, I have never heard about Scott. I don't know anything about Scott. I don't know anything about Adams. But some of the teachers, Emmanuel mentioned it, Mercy mentioned it, don't worry, the person that coming to teach you people, I said, okay, fine and good. Lo and behold, you came up on Saturday. We started the class. Initially, I had a little bit of difficulty. I mentioned it on Sunday that, you know, you are a bit fast for me, you know, but I get adjusted to it. I was able to flow with you with the class. Emmanuel put in his best. He did all he built up that interest, but you brought it to life for me. You really brought it to life for me. That made me to realize that this is what I've been doing all this while. I might not be a developer, but I've always been working in a team. And each team has been scheduled. This is what you have to do. This is your contribution. This is your contribution towards a particular goal to achieve a particular target. So we always work. I realized that this is what I've been doing, you know. You brought it to life for me. And I will also say your passion, you know, you had interest in making sure that we get it, you know. It's as if is a how will I say it? I don't know how to put the right word to use. As if you're obligated to us, that these people, they are going to get it. I'm going to make sure it's sticking to their head, it's sticking to their brain, and they are going to do it so that they get it once and for all. So Scott, thank you so much. You are a contact that I intend to keep on holding on to. I keep on, you are a motivator, somebody I would like to look up to. I will follow you, LinkedIn, wherever, I will keep on following you. I'll keep on, you know, when you talk about the things you've done, you know, you go out of your way, you tell some incident that doesn't have anything to do with you. You spoke about the young man at the airport that was almost putting his life at risk. You left you are going home to see your family. You are eager to see your family, but you have to leave it behind. The humanity in you came up. You said, no, I have to do something. And you came up and provided a solution. They didn't even know that they needed that solution, provided a value. So that's a motivation for me. I should always try to provide value, no matter what, no matter the circumstances, even if it goes against, even if it's going to cause me pain. I should also always look at humanity first, look at providing a value, being productive, whatever I do. So going forward, I'm going to apply it more in what I do, in my sales, in what I do, even though in the future, I might not continue to be a salesperson. Whichever career I find myself in the future, of course, I want to delve into tech. And right now I'm selling things that have to do with tech. So I don't know where the future is going to take me, but I believe I'm in the right direction. I believe I'm focused. So thank you, Scott. We cannot appreciate you enough, Scott. Thank you so much. Then to Mercy, a woman of substance, the vibrant woman, the agile woman. Madam Mercy, you're too much. I don't really talk much. She might be surprised I can talk this long because I'm always like quiet. She said, Jessica, say something. Jessica, do, you know, I'm always looking. Mercy, if you cannot see my heart, you know, if you can see my heart and feel me, I really appreciate you, because you show direction to people. You're a great motivator. We see you doing it. You're not just talking. We see you doing it. You talk and you put it into action. I love you, Mercy. You're fabulous. You're fantastic. You're an inspiration for me. And the whole team, where will I start from? Is it our Chief Scrum Master, James? The way James rally all of us around towards this exam. By the time James started asking us questions, have you read Scrum Glossary? Have you done this? Have you done that? I was like, wow, Jessica, what are you doing? You're lagging behind. See your teammates, see your classmates, your colleagues, they have done so much. You know, James awakened it, you know, in all of us to start studying, to start reading. You know, he put that He make it look as if you people have to do this. So when you see James doing it, James talking in class, saying, mentioning so many things, ask yourself, what's going on? No, James is doing all this, so me, I have to wake up. Is it Chidi? Is it Mariam? All of us, they'll be so fantastic. We are like a family. And I know the relationship will continue growing, you know. We are like a family. I appreciate all of them. They'll be so fantastic. And Tomiwa is always covering everybody, dominating the whole thing. When there's a class, Tomiwa start talking. She makes sure you keep on expressing. You won't allow other people to talk. We don't have Tomiwa, Joe. That's what we used to say. Don't mind the word I use. So I appreciate all of you. I love all of you. Thank you so much for this opportunity, for this privilege. Merci,
so much,
thank you once more
Jessica.
for bringing this family together. I know we'll do a lot in the future. Thank you, Lola. Thank you
So much, Jessica. Thank you. Jessica doesn't talk much. She just had to say so much today. She rarely talks, so it's just a bottle up. You know how it goes out. That's quite interesting. Thank you so much, Jessica. On that note, I want to hand over to Reginald. We are running out of time, and I just want to implore us as much as possible. Please, let's be mindful of time. So Reginald, please, you have the floor. Please go ahead and share your insight. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Omolola. I mean, just like Jessica, I don't like to talk much, and I will try as much as possible not to talk much in this meeting and in this for my time. Wow, where do I start? First of all, when I saw the word in Scrum Master Scott, I raised my eyebrow, and I think just like Tomiwa, I was curious. So when that question was asked, is this something that we have to attain, or what is this Scrum Master all about? I loved the confidence with which Scott answered. It is self-acclaimed, and I think I raised my eyebrow a little bit more. But at the end of yesterday's class, I doffed my hat. I don't have a background in Taekwondo. I don't have a background in Tai Chi, but I am a passionate and I am a committed chess player. And the people we refer to as grandmasters in chess are the 1% of the 1% of the best chess players. And I dare say that Grand Scrum Master Scott is the 0.1% of the 1% of Scrum Masters in the world. I don't need to meet any other Scrum Master to prove that to me. Prior to this weekend, the last weekend, I had a lot of confidence that I knew Scrum. Okay, yes, Emmanuel was brilliant. Emmanuel was top notch. When you listen to Emmanuel, you know this is a highly intelligent person, and Emmanuel gave me that confidence. But it was still all theory to me. Yes, I will go into the exams and I will do well. I will answer questions. I felt that confidence. But after listening to Scrum, I've not worked on a Scrum team, but I feel like I know Scrum now because of the way Scott synthesized the framework. He broke it down into pieces using stories, using anecdotes, and he was just beaming of excellence. In fact, just last night, I had to sit down with my wife because she has an exam she's coming up with in the next 3 months. And I say, see, I'm going to be your Scrum Master. Let's break it down. What's your study plan? Let's put it in a product backlog. And she was just excited. And I couldn't do that last week, even though I knew the theory. But Emmanuel gave me that courage, that confidence to say, see, take it to your personal lives and see the magic that Scrum will do for you. And I feel a lot of confidence just because of that. Where do I begin the appreciation? The appreciation goes all around. But the first and foremost, I want to thank Stella. I mean, without Stella, I wouldn't know what Scrum is. I wouldn't know about LEARNTOR. Yes, I've heard about LEARNTOR Toastmasters Club, but I just know about LEARNTOR Toastmasters because I'm a Toastmaster. I'm the division director for my own division here in northern Nigeria. And I know most Toastmasters Club in Nigeria. But I didn't know that LEARNTOR was an educational platform aside from Toastmasters. However, Stella, she's a friend, she's a sister. We were deep in communication, and she just asked me, have you heard about Scrum? Have you heard about data analytics? I'm like, yes, I hear about these things like data analytics, yes, but not about Scrum. Then she sent me a video of Mercy speaking so passionately, you know, using all the right words, Kanban framework, and I'm like, wow. And then Mercy says she's less than 5 years in the space and she's doing amazing things. I'm like, well, I'm a Toastmaster, and one of the things I learned in Toastmaster is you throw yourself out there, you volunteer, and you do the best you can. And I agreed. I made a commitment with Stella that we are going to go all in. And even knowing that I had my full-time job, in fact, I'm still on the way home. I've not gotten home yet. That's why I'm still in the car. I had the Toastmasters where I'm leading 17 clubs in Northern Nigeria, and I also have other passions. I play chess and so many other things. I committed, and I had a marriage. I had a wedding that I was planning. So it wasn't easy. It was one of the last couple of weeks have been one of the toughest and the most hectic weeks of my life. But this last weekend brought it all together. In fact, I want to thank LEARNTOR, Mercy in particular. I mean, it was yes, Stella introduced me to LEARNTOR, but it was your vibe. It was the energy that you exude. That was what drew me to sign up for this class. Maybe Stella may have encouraged me, but if I didn't watch the videos, your videos, talking about LEARNTOR, talking about what you do and what you offer, I probably wouldn't have signed up. So thank you so much. Please keep giving off the same vibe, the same energy. It really encourages a lot of us out here. And then to the entire class, thank you all so much. You all have been amazing. Every single one of you in all the teams I've been in, everybody contributes. And yes, I've been in Toastmaster for 7 years, but I am quote unquote more or less an introvert. I still like to sit on the sidelines, to watch, to observe, to speak when it's my turn to speak. Yeah. So thank you all for helping bring out the best in me. And finally, thank you, Scott. In fact, thank you, Grandmaster Scott. I have so much respect for what you do. You are just the best. You made the whole journey worthwhile. Thank you very much. Over to you, Omolola.
Thank you so much, Reginald. Scott, this cohort has produced a lot of things. We are grateful to God for that. Reginald got married during this cohort. Yes. So we got a marriage, we got a baby, and we have great Scrum Masters here as well. So this has been a blessing in so many ways to so many of us. On that note, I would like to hand over to Stella, our seasoned banker, also on our way to becoming a Scrum Master. So Stella, you have the floor. Please go ahead and your highlights and feedback for school.
Thank you so much, Omolola. Thank you for that wonderful coordination right there. Apologies, I might not be able to put on my video. I've explained to Mercy why. I don't know where to start, but let me start from somewhere on a lighter note. On a lighter note, I would say that they have all said what I wanted to say. But that is when you don't know what to say. So that's not true. I have something to say. All right, so I am a banker. I'm actually a team lead in sales and marketing. But I'm this type of person that I always want to learn more. Personal development is one of my core principles. I always like to know more. And that is what led me to Toastmasters, even in the first place. I'm a distinguished Toastmaster. And it didn't just stop there. I wanted to know more. I wanted to learn more. And one day I came across Mercy on Channels Television. Channels Television is one of the leading television in Nigeria. And Mercy spoke so passionately about the agile world, the future of work. You could see the passion. I could feel it from where I was seated. And I said, no, whatever this lady is saying, I am interested. So I took the contact, the Instagram contact, and I sent her a DM. I don't know if she remembered. That was 2 years ago. I sent her a DM, and I think that then the class had started, and she said there's another class coming up. And I kept a tab on her. I always go to her page to just watch her videos, look at what she's doing. And I said, I will do this.
So fast forward to when the cohort started, she sent me the details, and I was on the process of registering. I had to tell my friend Reginald, I said, see, there's something happening. I had not entered the class, but I had so much energy. I told, by the time I finished talking to him, he was in. He said, let's do this. Mercy, you have to pay me because I became an ambassador. I was talking, in fact, today I was talking to someone about Scrum and the way we're going to work together using Scrum. And the guy said, please tell me more about the Scrum thing. You know, I said, well, you will get to know more. There's another cohort coming up and I would like you to register. So it has been an interesting journey. First of all, I love the energy, the passion with which Mercy is preaching the gospel of upskilling and reskilling for Africans. Is really important that we become relevant in today's world. And that is what drove me to joining this cohort. And I can say that even in the work that I do today, I sent my people a Microsoft Planner collaborative work tool. And you know, they didn't understand what I was saying. I said, don't worry, you're going to download it. This is the way we'll be working going forward. So I have learned a lot in this cohort. It's been amazing. Then comes in the Grand Master. To tie, if you go to the review session, I did my review immediately yesterday, and I said something there. I said, Scott is a legend. I say that because the way he tied everything together in a fun way was it for me. I'm a trainer and I understand that it is not easy to take a class from 8:30 to, it's not just 4:30, it's almost 5:30 sometimes. And the energy, you know, energy is contagious. I was feeling that energy from morning to, you can't sleep in that class. It's not possible, except you're not serious. So I'd like to give it to you, Scott. This is a learning journey. We're on this journey together, but it started on a good note. I can tell you, it started on a good note. I'm excited about Scrum. I'm so excited, supercharged about it. Yes, I can tell you, I don't even fear the exams anymore. That is how good it is. Honestly, I don't fear it anymore. I'm ready to take it on. So thank you so much, Scott. Thank you, Mercy. Thank you, my whole cohort 5. Fantastic people, lovely people. Thank you so much. I appreciate everyone. Good evening once again.
Yeah, thank you so much, Stella. We appreciate you too. She's one of those team members you'd really want to work with. She's always putting herself up front there. And so she's been a blessing to this team as well. Thank you very much, Stella. And on that note, I would want to hand over to our Scrum Master himself, James. I'll just give him a bit of accolades because he deserves it as well. He has made this journey very seamless and easy for so many of us. It's almost like the daddy of the house. We all cry to him. And I'm like, look, you have so much already that you're doing in your own personal life and space. How do you cope with all these adults coming to you like babies? And it's, you know, but he doesn't mind. He doesn't complain. He takes everything in good strides. And he says, don't worry, anytime you need me, let me know. Even if it's midnight, just call me. I'll be okay. I'll be there for you. And that is commendable. It's really the attribute of a Scrum Master. He is selfless and he facilitates, he coordinates, he coaches, he mentors. And what else would we use to describe a Scrum Master than all of these words? And so on that note, I would like to invite James. Please, James, don't get all carried away with my accolades. So please do that.
Thank you. Thank you, Ola. Thank you, everyone. Thank you. Thank you so much. I'm an emotional person, and every motion and every word does something on my inside, especially when it connects with my soul. But I'll try to put it all together today and not mess things up. I'll try to just put up a strong face and get it all going. But, you know, it's quite an emotional moment for me right now. Like I said, I'll get it going. I'll just put everything together. You know, this year, I got on a purposeful journey, so to speak, to re-emerge. I told myself this year, I wanted to re-emerge into a force that will drive value, not just a force, but a significant force that would drive value, you know, across complex situations, but beyond situations, you know, across scenarios of human relationships as well, you know, across products, services, across where I'm able to connect or where I have touch points with. And so I made up my mind that I was going to re-emerge. Now it's 5 months into that journey already, and I don't regret taking that decision. But here is something. I find out that when you take a step, or let me use myself as an example, anytime I get to this crossroad where I really need to re-evolve, and I do that a lot every time. So I could say I run sprints of 5 years in my life where, you know, I re-emerge and I come up with this increment of value that is really shippable. And I got to that point this year, another 5 years of course sprint, where I was expecting to churn out another valuable increment. And I began to think through it and pray, of course. And in doing so, I've realized over the last sprints of my life, that anytime I get to this stage, midwives will always show up. And you know, it's so interesting that on this journey, Abiba gave birth. And that's significant for me because not just Abiba, but God gave me mercy to midwife this next sprint of my life. And so mercy showed up as a midwife to birth that reemergence for me, to find that new definition, to find that new level, to rediscover and to reemerge myself into a new force. And that force, that defining force, that divine and defining force is agile. And that's where tomorrow lies for me. That's where the future holds for me. And that seemed to be a huge consideration that will mark a definition of done when I get to the end of the sprint. Now, mercy came into the scene just because I'd been praying and I then stumbled on this story. Now, again, something about story. And this is why these sessions are important, because someone somewhere will listen to this comment, and from this comment will find life again, will find meaning, will find a lot of value. So I was just going through LinkedIn, and then someone who was going through the cohort before, who happened to be a former colleague, just did a 2-minute video or so and was talking about Scrum, Mercy, LEARNTOR, stuff. And something just dropped on my inside. It was a eureka moment. For me, it was that aha moment that yes, something just clicked. It was a connection. It was that point where I had, you know, when you say, you know, divinity met with humanity to spark off a new lease of life. And from that video, I started to look for who is Mercy, who is LEARNTOR. You know, I did all of the checks. I started chasing, you know, drop messages in and there on LinkedIn. I started chasing. And guess what? Mercy called me up one of the days. I was so excited, like I met an angel, like an angel just spoke, like God just sent someone to me, literally. and I was just beaming with life. And she said, oh, this is coming up, blah, blah, blah. And then she introduced me to all of the, at the time I registered for a particular training, and then boom, Mercy is that voice speaking in sub-Saharan Africa, that now is the time for Africa to rise. That now is the time for Africans, not just African, women, but all Africans. Of course, a lot of emphasis on women, and I understand it. She's the voice in sub-Saharan Africa today, speaking and preaching the gospel of Agile. Everybody upskilling and rising up to be able to matter in the global space. Mercy today is not just a voice, but a force. She's a force to reckon with. She's a force in Agile. She's a force in digital transformation. She's actually a force in human transformation, because all that she's doing transcends digital transformation into human transformation, transforming lives, transforming homes, redeeming dreams, and shaping people, all the way. I dare to say that Mercy is a bridge builder. Mercy is a midwife. And I say big thank you to you, Mercy, because as a midwife, you have done so much. And here is a testimony today. And of course, there are more testimonies ahead of you, Mercy and LEARNTOR. To all the LEARNTOR team members and to the facilitators, I'd like to say a big thank you, Adebayo, BC, and then to the facilitators, Emmanuel, Megzi, if you can hear me, a big thank you. You guys are wonderful. You guys are superb. You guys have that heart, that servant leadership. You guys have imbibed the values of Scrum. You're not just, it's not mechanical Scrum, it's not superficial Scrum, it's not Scrum as a zombie, but this is living the values of Scrum, affecting every life you meet with the values of Scrum. I want to say a big thank you to what's his name again? It just jumped off my head. Yabo, to all of the Isaiah, to Tosin, to Shayo, the business analyst. They've been far too wonderful in this journey for us, and I'm excited that I got on this journey. I'm excited that this next sprint that I'm already on is going to be a fantastic one. Now, finally, let me just roll it and into the next stage as I wrap up everything. It is Steve Jobs that says that if you haven't found it yet, keep looking, right? Don't settle. As with all matters of the heart, you'll know when you find it. It's quite interesting that this is one quote out of many that I picked from Scott's presentations. And it is so instructive that I have found it. I found it with LEARNTOR, I found it with Mercy, and I found it with Scott. Scott is intentional, is intellectual. Scott is savvy. Scott is amazing. Scott is absolute. Scott is confident, and that's why he's called Isaac. Scott is a servant leader. Scott is a connector. Scott is an orator and a teacher and a trainer. That's why you give him the name Scott. Scott is agile, living the agile life. Of course, not ashamed of preaching the gospel of Christ. He said that, without any form of fear. He's dynamic, he's analytical, is magical, but beyond being magical, Scott is motivational. And because Scrum is simple, Scott is simple, and that's why we call him Adams. I want to say a big thank you. Those words, those names, you've been able to put your word on it, and you'll be able to put your name on it. And I will never forget those names: Isaac, Scott, Adams. In the year of our Lord, 2022, impacting lives, changing men. Thank you so much for all you do.
Thank you so much, James. Well said. You are indeed a great orator. I think you begin to write a speech for the President of the USA. Scott, is there a vacant position within the White House for him? He has done so well, well spoken. Thank you so much, James. It was very emotional for some of us. Some people had to put it in the chat that you're now a spiritual leader or a spiritual Scrum Master, the case might be. Thank you so much. Thank you. We're running out of time, but we have 4 more people that would love to say something here. And we would not want to leave them out because their voice must also be heard. And so on that note, I would like to hand over to Kevin. Kevin was in the cohort 3, but when he heard that we're giving feedback to Scott today, he said, no, I need to come back and tell Scott what he really did, even though my cohort was like 2 cohorts away. So he's here tonight and he would want to share with you, some of the major highlights and give your feedback as to how you have impacted him as well. Thank you very much. So Kevin, on that note, can you kindly unmute your mic and please go ahead to share. Thank you.
Well, thank you. For me, Scott has been a wonderful person to me. There's a particular question he asked, I will never forget. Say, for you to go far in life, you need to really know what you want in life. And he backed that up with a story of a young man then who was a basketballer, Junior Bridgman. I will not forget that story in a hurry. And there is a lot of lessons to learn about him. That's Junior Bridgman, I mean. How the guy transformed from being a basketballer to a business mogul. It's a nice story. And the story inspired me a lot. So calling Scott the Grand Scrum Master mean a lot to me. And there's so much to learn from him. In summary, he said, with that story of Junior Bridgman, that in life, we should never give up. So in everything we do, we should never give up. Even in Scrum, it's been 1 year after our cohort. Sometimes some work might take you out of Scrum, but don't give up on Scrum. The reward is enormous. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Kelvin. Thank you for lending your voice there. Thank you so much. Jonathan, you have the floor. If you don't mind, can you please unmute and please share with us? Thank you.
All right. Good evening, everyone. Good evening, Scott. I'll just say a few words. I'm actually an alumni from Cohort 4, and I'll just say, knowing LEARNTOR, knowing Mercy, at a point in life when I did, actually changed and turned my life around. It was very difficult. I had nowhere to turn to. I had nothing else to do. I was living behind the walls, So one day I sat down and I was asking myself, well, where do you go from here? I had a very life-changing situation, but wasn't to be the end of life. So I asked myself, what are you going to do right now? So I was, I think I was on Instagram and I saw Messi, I saw a video of her talking on channels. And I was like, when did this happen? What is this lady talking about? What's Scrum? I went on the internet, I went on LinkedIn. I was like, how do I, do all of this? Because I actually needed a career shift, career change. I've been doing something for over 10 years in the oil and gas. And I'm like, how do I really get out of this? So I called her immediately. That was just, I think, the eve of Cohort 4. And then that was how the journey began. It was very difficult. It was hard. I think I was a Scrum Master for my team and did all we could. And I also remember I followed Scott even right after I joined that cohort. I went on LinkedIn. I was so hungry to learn something new. I was so hungry to add value. I was so hungry for new knowledge. I was like, man, I'm tired of the old things because life had actually dealt me a very, wonderful blow at the time. And it was so frustrating. And I know sometimes Messi would not understand why I was the way I was until I had to have a chat with her someday. And I said, hey, this is what I'm going through right now. And she actually could relate to why I was the way I was at the time. It was a very difficult moment, but Scrum helped me. LEARNTOR helped me. I know a couple of times Messi may not understand why we are the way we are because we're humans. But if she could see our individual lives, she will see that she's at the center of it. After I left the cohort, I think I made a decision to actually leave my job. I work in the oil and gas, one of the top IOC in Nigeria. I had to leave. And I said, there's nothing else I'd rather do in my life than data analytics. Actually, I applied to relocate out of Nigeria to the UK to go do a master's in data analytics because I think that's the oil that the world actually needs right now. So this is what LEARNTOR has done for me. This is what Messi has done for me. And in no small measure, I followed the class initially, but I had some little or some things that kept me out for a while, and I couldn't come back in, So my career has actually just taken a different turn right now because of LEARNTOR, because of Messi. And anywhere, everywhere I go, whatever I'm going to put on LinkedIn, there's going to be LEARNTOR attached to it because that's actually the beginning of my career. That's actually the change curve. That is where my curve started changing. And ever since I knew Scrum, I've been able to handle, came in business, in contact with Scrum, I've been able to handle a lot of life issues that come around and about. I remember 2 years I've not been to the office, and I went to my office to speak. I just went to the office last week because of the COVID-19, and I met my head of department, and I was speaking to him about what I've learned in the last 2 years, and he was like, wow, you actually have done so well. I told him, well, I might be leaving as well. He was surprised that somebody would just wake up, and just leave the oil and gas. Like I said, yes, because I found something better. So Messi, thank you so much for all you've done. It's been a wonderful time. It's been a wonderful experience. I know I didn't meet a lot of persons personally, but I know I had one or two conversations with Tom. Tom, it was nice meeting you. So Adebayo, thank you so much. You were so impactful in our court. I remember we spoke a couple of times when I told you I was even about to quit, and you kept on encouraging me. And today I'm doing wonderful. Thank you so much. And I wish you all the best in your upcoming exams. Yeah, and I just want to chip in something. The exams are not so difficult, so don't be afraid. I hear a lot of people say they're afraid. They're not so difficult. Everything you learned, everything you've been taught, that's what you're going to see. And it's as easy as that. We did good in our time, and I know you guys are going to beat our record. So thank you. I wish you all the best.
Thank you so much, Jonathan. Thank you for the encouragement. Thank you for the words of advice. We want to say thank you for that. We have very limited time. I would just want to quickly call on Adebayo. Adebayo, please, you'll unmute, and we just want to hear from you as quickly as possible. And then we'll round up with Timothy. Thank you so much. Please go ahead, Adebayo.
Yeah, thank you. Good evening, everyone. Thank you. I'm so happy to be here tonight, and I've been so, in fact, I'm so glad for all what I've been hearing from you guys. So, it shows that you really appreciate all the effort LEARNTOR is putting into the program, and all the partners generally, what they've been able to contribute. So happy. We, this cohort is privileged to have Scott Adams, who is a Grand Scrum Master. He is a very phenomenal person, very different and unique in his way and approach of teaching. So I so much appreciate him, and I give him so much regards. So thank you. I wish everybody the joy of us all is to see you succeed. Beating our record. At least if like half of the class can score 100, I'll be so happy, so glad to hear that. So we are hoping and that you all make it, and we are looking forward to see you announce the big scores. So it's not a big deal anyway. It's not a big deal. But what I always advise people to do is to keep learning, keep practicing those things. There are so many opportunities that will come your way that the learning, your preparation will actually, speak volumes. Just like some minutes ago before joining this meeting, I still received an invite, to write a Scrum certification exam, even all expenses paid, free. So you expect me to write it within just short time, without even any preparation, but I'm not in any way moved because I had my foundation very solid. So I could, I tell you often and often, just keep, checking on those videos, those resources, read and keep reading, because you definitely meet so many, so many opportunities that will require immediate attention just for you to write. I've written it in the Scrum exam, even after this Scrum.org, that was, something was, they keep changing the toughness or hardness of those question based on your performance. Once you get one correctly, they increase the stuff, and it was just funny. But if not for what, and I blasted it anyway. If not for the good foundation we've had through the LEARNTOR training, then it will have been a different story by now. But I encourage everyone, please and please don't stop learning. The end is not PSM 1. You still have a long way to go. So, but as a family, let's relate together, interact together, and do well together. So our lines are open for discussion, collaboration, anytime, any day. So thank you all for coming around this evening, and kudos to Mercy for all what she's doing. Cheers, everyone.
Thank you, Adebayo. I know you would have seen the comments in there, you were able to put everybody together. We would refer to you as our headmaster. So there's a Scrum title where there's a position for headmaster. Somewhere there, you will find Adebayo coordinating every of our session every night. It was dedicated, and that's a sacrifice. Thank you so much, Adebayo. And on a final note, Timothy, can you please go ahead, unmute, and quickly share, if you don't mind, your own feedback.
Hello, everybody. Hi, Cohort 5. It's a wonderful privilege to meet Scott. I've been hearing so much about Scott and Timothy from the LEARNTOR team here in the office. And I want to, first of all, let me start with thanking my boss, Mercy. I work directly with Mercy as full stack developer. And it's been a privilege to work with such a relentless person. I know if everyone in Cohort 5 is having that energetic boost so far from Mercy, imagine what I am having in the office. I think I'm having the best of it all. And thank you, Mercy, for giving me the privileged opportunity, and also for, believing in me. Now I'll say the right, believing in me, pushing me. And now I'm going to be taking the Scrum exams and becoming a Scrum Master. I didn't think about it. I'm coming from the background of DevOps and back-end full stack development. So I've never heard of Scrum Master, but I saw someone play out being a Scrum Master. I'm like, I like the way that guy behaves, the way he handles the team and stuff. I didn't even know it was a Scrum Master work, a Scrum Master role, until I got into LEARNTOR. I saw what happened in Cohort 3, Cohort 4, then Cohort 5 itself, like the whole stuff coming together. I started getting the understanding of Scrum. Then I met Scott Adams. Scott Adams just demystify everything, make it so easy, so simple. Like, I could see Scrum now in my dream. I could understand it, I could flow with it. Now I'm scrumming things out in the office. And thank you, Scott. Thank you for the time. Thank you for being so understanding. The storytelling out of this world. The told story, like I could sit down one place from morning till the evening, and I didn't lose interest. Thank you for doing that. And giving us that boost, energizing us also. It says what you have is what you're able to give to others. To be honest with you, I think we are many use now. All of us are like thinking like you, wanting to act like you. It's a privilege, and I thank everyone in Cohort 5. I thank especially James for holding down the phone, being the battery amongst everyone in the team. I met James when he came for a training, a business analysis training, and I participated in that too. I could see such angst, such a zeal for wanting to, develop himself. Like, I don't know, I would say he's a role model to follow, because he's passionate, driven, and you won't be out of place to say he's a spiritual Scrum Master. Indeed, he's he's out there. Thank you, Mercy. Thank you for being such a wonderful sister. Thank you, Scrum. Thank you. I want to say thank you, Scott. Grand Scrum Master. Indeed, you're a Grand Scrum Master. Thank you, everybody. Thank you. So I think I'm the one closing out.
Thank you so much, Timothy. Thank you so much. And on a grand note, we're going to be bringing in
Christabel spoken, Lola.
Oh, is she here?
Christabel.
Sorry, I'm not sure if she's here. Christabel, are you here? I'm not sure she's here right now.
No, she's not. She was at some point. She left.
All right. Okay. So on the grand note, we want to especially invite the Grand Master. We've said so many things and we'd like to hear from him. But before he comes, I want us to just unmute and give him a round of applause as it comes on to respond to our feedback. Please unmute your mic and welcome the one and only Grand Scrum Master, Scott Adams.
That's for me.
Welcome, Scott.
Thank y'all so much. Thank y'all so much. James, Omolola, Chidi, Adubayo, Mariam, Tom, Jonathan, Stella, Kevin. Kevin, you always been in my mind, sir, because I think when we met last year, if I'm not mistaken, if I got the right person in the world, your mom died when we was in class or around that time. Is that correct, sir? Kevin Omafa.
Yes, very correct.
As you can see, you impacted me as well. See, because an impact don't forget nothing like that. I saw the name. I'm like, it took me all the way back, and some of the messages that we shared, and as I tried my best to comfort you as best as I could from across the world. Alo Waswan, Mr. Reginald, I'll be back. Jessica, I'm speechless. I'm tired. I love you. I laid it out on the table. There's nothing else for me to say, but for you to go execute and be legendary. Again, I trained the way I trained just so that you can use my mistakes. I spent that I have time. I tried as much as I possibly could that you can use that as your stratosphere, whatever that may look like for you. As I know is applicable in your personal. Entrepreneurs use Scrum. It is a great tool to remember, manage complexity, and to minimize risk. Scrum is all about changing behavior. A lot of people miss that. Behavior. In both the Agile Manifesto too. Principle 12 is really where it discloses it all to you. I love each and every one of you. Anything I can never do for y'all, just let me know. Delighted to be here. Mercy, thank you so much for the invite. Last but certainly not least, I just want to give you a shout out. Hey, it wouldn't have been possible if it would have been the invitation that I received from you and the work we're trying to do really for across the world and really just spreading the true Scrum gospel. Because, even the Bible tells us there's going to be some fake preachers out here. There's going to be some false information you hear about Scrum and Agile. And I hope I've given you enough information along with the other people that surround you to have the discernment to know the A way versus the right way. So I love each and every one of you. God bless you all.
Thank you so much, Scott. Thank you. With that note, I would like to hand over to Mercy before we proceed further. Mercy, please go ahead. Thank you.
No, this is your show. Just round off. Thank you.
Thank you.
That's how to be legendary. That's what Scott taught. You lead from behind. I don't lead from the front. And you've been amazing.
Thank you so much, Mercy, for the opportunity. I want to say thank you to everyone that has made it a day tonight. I am humbled by the opportunity to facilitate and coordinate this session. You have all been wonderful team members. It's been a wonderful time with all of us. And thank you so much, Tomiwa. Don't worry, we'll surely get there together and we'll celebrate. And Scott has promised that we can always keep in touch. And so on that note, we want to say thank you once again, Scott, for all the learnings you've shared, the experience that will be a lifetime that we'll never forget, those words you spoke, that kind of like seeds that, would also grow forth to bring up fruitful trees. And so we want to say thank you. On that note, I would like to call it a night, and that'll be all from our side. And thank you, everyone. And it was indeed a pleasure to share. Thank you.